Okay, when you buy this unit, you'll buy it from a parts store, because if you buy it from a dealer, it's going to run you probably twice as much. Also, by buying it from the parts store, your local parts store, these will be guaranteed for life. If you only replace one of them, then the problem is you're going to save about $30–40 maybe, whatever one you're going to replace is bad. But down the road, you might have to tear it apart if the other part goes bad. So it's better to pay for the extra $40 and get the whole unit, because if one goes bad, then you just take it in, get a brand new one, put it back in. If you do it the other way, then down the road the other part might go out and you have to start all over and do it again. So in my experience, it's just better to replace the whole thing. Unless you're getting rid of the car, then go ahead and do what you have to do to make it work. It is right here as explained. You don't really need this. You have a magnet in case you drop the screw, which you really don't need, but it makes it convenient. You have a little screwdriver here to take off a little plastic piece, which I'll show you. I have tape on this screwdriver to pry the door panel off. Once you get your fingers under there, you can pull it out. And then this is a 10 and a 12mm wrench, socket, and you have the electrical tape, which I'll show you in a while what that's for. Okay, here's the door panel. There's two screws that hold this door panel on. One is in here, one is in here. This little screwdriver was just basically to get this little plastic piece out from inside there before you get to the screw. Okay? That's all this is really basically for. Okay, the next thing is this little plastic piece pulls off your door. You just pull it, and as you can see, it's only held in by these two notches right there. You pull that off. Next thing you do, you want to come in here and take this plastic thing off. You just pull forward on it because it hooks in there. Just pull forward on it. Okay, in the back here, you'll see this right here, this bar. Okay, the only thing you do here is just you take your handle or the small screwdriver, push it off that round thing. Just doesn't want to behave sometimes, but that's what you do. You push it off, pull it around, and just lift up. And then disconnect this from this unit. As you can see right here, there's a place you could just squeeze it together, pull it off. If I can remember how to do it, right there in the middle. See how it goes down? If you see how this goes down, once that's down, you can pull it out. That's it. Set this to the side. Okay, the next thing is we're going to lift the door panel off. Okay, on this side, you have to disconnect, unscrew the light from the door. It just goes, and then under here again, you do the same thing with this. It's a little hard to see, and we'll try to show you. But right here, there's a little. Again, there's in the front of it. If I can show you, it's right there. You're gonna push in on that little thing again, just like you did the other one. Sometimes you could use this if you're having too much trouble. And then you just set the door panel to the side. Okay, when taking off the door panel, you want to make sure all the clips came with it. And the reason I'm doing that right now, because it makes it a lot easier when you're trying to put it back together, okay? So if they're stuck on the door, take them off, put them back here, your door's done. Okay, next thing you know, that's the way our door looks. Okay, here, this is for a weather thing. I just put this on here real quick to show you what we're going to be doing. Okay, we need to take off this metal thing. There's just two screws to it. I'll try to work as fast as I can so I don't bore you, which is very possible on my. Oh, there's one. Yeah, sometimes if it just turns upside down, unless you want to get on your knees, it's a lot faster to do. It doesn't matter. Take that, set in there, keep the screws together. Okay, the next thing now, we need to pull off this cover here. Just pull it off, but try not to rip it, because we're going to put it back on. What you do is just pull. And pull these wires through there to get them out of your way. That's the way I do things. I just get everything out of my way so it's not bothering us. Again, try not to rip it. Just pull it down. Get it down to about right there is good. The reason I have the electric tape is because when we put this back, as you can see where this blue tape is, we're gonna just put it up here and tape it back on. You could use a two-sided tape if you wanted to go around, or just take that tape, the electric tape, which you'll see at the end. And the reason we do that is to make sure this stays back up to protect it from water and all that. It's basically your choice. Okay, the next thing we have to do is, we don't have to take off the speaker, but we're going to do it because just in case we have problems. I mean, you don't have to, but you know, like I said, it opens it up in case we have problems. It's held together by 4 screws. Just set them in the car, this way you don't lose anything. Keep them all together so you know where it is. So far this is a very easy task to do. When I read the book, it seemed more complicated because I'm not as bright as I am when I read, other than just doing the window. Okay, there's 4 of them, so there's 1 more in here. I know, sometime today. Alright, let's take the 4 screws off. Set them there. Speaker comes right out. Again, we have the 2 prise things. You see these 2 right here and here? Push them together and it'll pull your speaker off, the speaker wires off. Like that. Set your speaker right there. Okay, now basically we're ready to almost take it off. Okay, now those 4 screws I was telling you what we seen on the arm in the beginning are right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The window, there's that one. Here's that bar I was showing you. That arm, that's 1 and 2. And then that little one is... Okay, now that we've got this down, the reason you want to have this off in case you have problems, because if your window's up and you can't reach, if you look right down here, down here, there's a bolt, a screw in there. You can see it in there. I'll try to let you see it. There's a screw in there, and the other screw, that bolt is right there on the window, right there. Okay. What you do is, if the window's all the way down and you can't get to that screw from there or bolt, you either, if your window won't move, you're gonna have to stick your hand in there and unscrew it, or sometimes you can pull up on the bar itself on the window and it'll move for you. Okay, now we're gonna take it off. Okay, yeah, well, almost take it off. Okay, right here, you just loosen these 2. Do not take off the screws, just loosen them. As you can see, there's a hole where it comes through, like this. These 2 you're going to take off. Remember, just put them in the car on the floor so you don't lose them. Remember, leave those there. You only have to take off these 2 and those 2 right there. You got to take a total of 4 bolts. Or these 2. Let's see if we can hurry up here, because I know you're waiting for me. These 2 and these 2. Like I say, if you get confused on which ones to do, just look at your regulator arm with the motor and just sort of figure out where the screws are going to go. Okay, those are the only 4 you take off. Now, you don't lift this off the hinge yet. You have to loosen these 2, like I told you. You just see how it slips? Just loosen them, but don't take them off. Because if you do, you can put them back on, but it's more work for you. Then you come over here. On here, you loosen that one, loosen this one. Okay, once you loosen them, this bar here will slide. See it slide? Hang on, see it slide here? Right here, see it? All you do is slide it there, and your window will come right out of that slot, and you do the same on the other side. Once that's out now, once that's out, take your window, move it up, okay, once this window's up, instead of taking it out, get some tape. I should have had this already done. You know, if you have the tape ready to go, you don't have to deal with it. But tape it on there. Make sure you put more. Always have this ready before you do the window. I sort of screwed up. As you can see, the window's only one piece, so it's not going to be a big deal. I'm overkilling the tape. I'll explain why in a minute. Okay, the reason for the tape is so the window doesn't fall or get in your way. If you left the window down when you pull out that regulator, the motor, you might scratch the windows. So basically just put it up like that. Okay? Next thing we do is all we do in here now is lift this up. Put your hand in there. See how they come right out? And they come right out of the holes. All right? Make sure it disconnects from the window, like that. Okay, all you do then is slide it out this way. Stick your hand, sort of guide it out. Oh, I sort of messed up. What you got to do is disconnect the wires. I got ahead of myself. Disconnect the wires. Take that small screwdriver that you had, pry this away, and then this just push in. That's just the wire holding on. See, that I screwed up. You just undo those. It takes a second. Okay, then what you do to take it out, and that right there is your motor regulator right there. These were the 2 screws there. These were on your window, and these were your 4 screws. Okay, now what you do here is the 2 screws that were here, you take them out by hand because they're already loose. Go get this, a little forgot about it. Anyways, take these 2 out right here. Right here. Take this one out. Okay. Then you bring them over to your new one. And you put them in. All you do is put them in back where they came out. Like that. Okay? Just like that. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, just like that. Okay, like that, and then you tighten them down. Okay, now, like I say, you take the 2 screws, screw them down a little. These are the ones that you didn't take out, so you just put them here. This is what's going to hold it on while you do the rest of the job. And just get them down far enough to where you're ready to go. Okay, so far you're halfway done. The job was pretty easy. And that's where we're going to stop for just for a second. As of right now, we're over halfway done. You can see it really wasn't that big a deal. It's pretty easy to do. If I can do it, you can do it. What I do is I get a little grease here. You don't have to, but I do it. And I put it in the channel here. You know, a little sloppy, but I'll wipe it up in a minute. And I'll explain why. Even though it has grease in the channels right here. Okay. It'll have grease in there. Just put a little. Some people say don't do this, but what the heck, you know? I do it. I don't care what people say. Anyways, you put it in the track there, and I'll show you why in a second. Okay, now that you got the grease in here, just sort of wipe off the top. Make it a little presentable. You know, it's not messy. You don't have to put some in there. Just wipe it down. The reason I do that is because this slides like this. When your window goes up, it slides. So this way they get greased and it makes it easier for the window. Okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to put this in, and then we're halfway done, so we're going to put this in, and it should go a lot easier than it was taking it out. This is what we're going to put back in now. The 4 bolts, these are the 2 you put back in. They're going to go right here in the door. The other 2 will line up once we get them in. You can't really screw this up when you put it in, so don't worry. Because see how this will go there? If you put it that way, your holes won't line up. So you can't really screw it up. So it's very simple. So if I could do this right without screwing it up, we're going to slide it in the door. See how the glass is out of the way? This is so you don't scratch it. Okay, bring it over here. Put it in those 2 holes with those bolts. Put it in there. And then try to bring it down right there. See how they lined up right in there? Like I say, you don't have to worry about this bottom one here. Okay? The other 2, you're going to bring up here, and you just line them up. And you line them up here with the holes, and you put them in. It's a lot simpler than I'm doing it. I mean, this is my first video, but I think you're catching the idea of what I'm doing here. This is why you keep all the bolts together in the car, so you don't have to track them down when you're ready. You just take that bar, you bring it down. See, there it is right there. That's all you got to do. You can't, like I say, you can't screw it up. Just put your arm there, and then once you get the holes lined up, you're good. Okay, now if you want to know which way to put it back in as you took it out so it's lined up perfect, I'll show you right now. Okay, I sort of snugged that in there. You see that round thing on the bottom here? That's where you're going to put the bolt. See how it went down? You're going to put it right there and tighten it right where you took it off at. See, that's where it'll go right there. Okay, come over here. Man, I'm getting old for this stuff. Then you put the other 2 back into here. Right here. Maybe push against it to bring it closer, like that. See, so far it's pretty easy. And once you start doing it, you're going to say, hey, I'll charge my friends to do it because I know how to do it. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to tighten these up now. Remember, there's a 1. Just snug them down until you get them all in. That way you know you can still move it around if you have to, which you probably won't have to, but you're good. There's 2. Remember now, this all fell down into the slot. Comes down. 3. 4. You don't have to overkill on the tight. Just, you know, get a nice good turn. Because it doesn't really move. It's not going to go anywhere. You know? Okay, now that was 4. Come over here and tighten this one up. There's 5. And then see how this came down into the notch? That's 6. Okay. Only thing we have to do now is we're going to take the glass, lower it by hand, and then we're going to place it. On this glass, there's slides right down there. It's not really a slide. It's like a channel. You can't screw it up when you put it in. All you do is when you're putting into setting the glass down, just look down into there and you'll line it up. It's really easy. If I can do it, you can do it. Take off the tape, but make sure you hold the glass. All right. Yeah. Okay. What we do now is we lower the glass with your hand in there. Make sure it don't fall, because you don't want to break it. And then you hold it from the top. You can hold it from the top, about right there. And then you bring this bar. See how this bar is right here? What you want to do, try not to lose the glass. You either hold it from the bottom or the top. Bring it down. Line up that thing. Remember, it slides. You get it in one, you got to get it in the other. Sometimes you got to get a little low to make sure everything lines up. There might be a little easier way to do this, but nobody told me. That one's in. Okay. What I think I screwed up on is I didn't loosen them enough, you know, on this thing. So what you do is just there, see, like that, and the other one should fit right in there. The other one should have been a little looser to the bolt, but you got one. So what you do is just stick your hand in there. Okay, what I did here is only took a minute, but I didn't want to bore you on it. You take the tape off the glass, hold the glass, bring it down. When you bring it down, you put the bolts through the holes here on both sides, and then just slide it. Once you slide it, that's it. Just make sure your bolts are out far enough to where it can slide. Okay, now what you do now is just tighten it up. Then when you get cut like that, you can say you're a man. All right. Then you come down here and do the other one. That's one. Come down here and stick it in here. Remember, just snug. You don't want to break the window, don't want to break nothing. Just get them snug. Okay, those are done. Just go back over these real quick. Good. Good. Good, 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 good. Okay, now you've done the hardest part. The only one thing I didn't tell you is when you're bringing down the window, just make sure it's in the track right here. And if you look on the other side, how it slid right there, it's right in there. It goes all the way down. So once you get that in there, the rest is easy. Okay. Basically, that's how you put the arm in. Now we're going to put everything back together. First do is you take your speaker. You can't screw these up and forget which ones go where, because they're all different sizes and they'll only fit in one spot. So you're going to be okay there. Okay, like they have their own sizes, so don't worry like, oh, well, I remember where they go. They only go one place. See, I can't put like this on here because it's too big. So if I take this, slide it in, goes right in. That's your speaker, put it back. Now I'll have to get my Phillips screwdriver, but you know, give me 1 second. Okay, we're going to put the speaker on. It's always faster going back together than taking it apart. Some people will say, well, aren't you going to test it to see if it works? Yeah, we are. I'll do that before I put the door panel back on. I'll do there. Remember, we got 4 of them, so. And then one more. Right here. Like I said, it'll go faster if you have them all with you. If you want, you can always put them in a cup too. That way you're not looking for all your pieces. Okay, what we did there was got the speaker back on. Make sure everything's there. Alright. What you do now is this is right here. See, it only one piece. This is your motor for your the window regulator. Slide. I'll figure it out. Slide it in. like this. Push it in all the way. Back here there's a slide. Some of the new ones come with a new clip, some don't. All you do is take this and then just slide it on the back. See that little thing? Just slide it right in there like this. And it locks right into place. Basically that's how you do that. Okay, now you're basically ready. Make sure everything's going. You got that hooked up, hit this, speakers. Everything's basically done. Now we're going to put it back together. What I'm going to do now is you're going to take all your wires, just take them back, throw them, put them back the way they came, like that. Bring this through here. Everything goes back up. And see how it sort of sticks? You can sort of follow where it goes. I mean, it's not really hard. Like this hole, you'll see where it goes right there. Okay, see, like right there. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and tape it real quick with the electrical tape, and then I'll be right back. All right. Okay, it's getting dark, so what I did is I already put this on the 2 screws. Don't forget, the hole has to be up because the door panel is gonna sit on top, and that's where that 1 screw goes. Okay. On the driver's side door, there's gonna be a couple of these. When you do the driver's side, it's the same way as this side, except you got to take off a few more of these. Don't worry about it, and don't worry about where they go, because only one will fit in each slot, so you can't get confused. Okay, we're going to put the door panel on right now. What we do here is you take this, and if you can see right there, we're going to hook it right in there. So we slide it right in there, like this. Make sure it snaps, you hear it. Come over here, get the light. Don't forget the light. The light's always a pain because nobody ever sees it. Like that. And then this one will go through the top door, okay? What you do is you slide it on top of the door. Make sure you got everything lined up. Like that. Push it down right there, like this. Make sure there's 2 things. You gotta make sure you got the your other wire out of here, which I sort of dropped down, but you just stick it. It's not hard to get out. It's just, you know, don't forget it. Okay, here it is. That's out, and then right here is that metal thing. Okay, very simple to put on. Okay, now that you got this on, just push it on your panel. Hit it in. As you can see, it's all flush in there. It's good. Take this piece back. Wrong one. Okay, this piece right here tucks under here. Put it right in there. I hope I'm not running out of light for you. And then hit it in. That's the way it is. You won't break it, don't worry. Goes like that. Next. Okay, this goes like this. Remember, it comes out. See these hooks? Comes out and it goes in. What you do is you take this little hole, put your wire back in there. Sometimes a needle noses if you can't get it, but you know, because it'll hold it. But you stick it right in that hole like that again, just the way you took it out, and then slide that plastic thing around and lock it into place. Okay, take your connector here and make sure you get it back in. All right. Okay, now that we got that thing in there, make sure you twist it to go around the bar. Take this, put it underneath. Okay, slide it back in there. Once it's in that slot, just push it back over, okay? What you do then is put the screw back in here. Put your screw back into here. There's one in there. Put this plastic thing, you don't have to, but you put that plastic thing back in the hole in there. And then you test it out to see if it works. Okay, first thing we'll do is the door lock. Door lock works. Okay, it's getting a little dark. This job only takes actually 15-20 minutes at the most, but you know, showing you gives you an idea. So everything's back together. I'm going to try the window and then lowering it. Try it again. And that's it. That's how you do a window. Any questions, just go back and redo the video. Sorry if this was sort of goofy, but it was my first one, and I hope it helped you.